this doesn't work. Or else I would turn it on. Big fail. I did a poll on my Instagram, and it was between 3 things, but 2 things are playing neck and neck. And every time I check, it changes. So one was going to be like a service dog thing and like update on Judy and how his journey is going and all that. And then the other one is how I got canceled. Basically just tea time. Oh my God. Okay. If you hear that beeping, it's our fire alarm. We've changed the battery already. I don't want to hear about it. It's the wiring. Our fire alarms are wired into our house. So we got to call an electrician. This just started happening Monday, and I haven't been home. I've been super busy. I just started a new job, and it's really fun. And this is my first day like home, so it hasn't annoyed me enough to throw a tantrum about like getting an electrician here now. But I've been home, and if I hear that beeping, it literally makes me like short circuit. So ignore it. You might hear like a random like meep. I hate it. Anyways, so I mean, I've been canceled a couple of times in my day. But I know which one you guys probably want me to talk about the most. You guys want the big one. But yeah, I've been canceled for going to Disneyland during COVID, which I think is the stupidest thing in the entire freaking world. I remember on that Facebook group, someone said that I'm the reason people are dying because I went to downtown Disney with a mask on. They acted like I snuck in. Like, no, it was okay. They let me in. What else? I got canceled for something Brutus did. I think just being a dog. I think just Brutus being a Saint Bernard. I used to get canceled just for going to Disneyland a lot. I got canceled for having a group of friends. They said we were really cliquey, which in hindsight, yeah, I guess we were. But we genuinely weren't trying to be. I mean, at least I wasn't. Like, you could have come up to me and I would have been your friend. I don't know about the other 3. Oh, I was always getting in trouble because I was friends with CJ. Just like always getting in trouble. Like, I was guilty by association. And then I would get in trouble for being friends with Hunter. Which was funny because I was never close to either of them. I was close to Hunter, but we had a falling out, and so I wasn't her friend for the longest time. And I wasn't really close to CJ that much, so I was always getting in trouble, and I was like, I'm not even doing nothing. Those were like little ones. Those were like little cancels. I wouldn't say they like got me canceled. The COVID one did though. Like, there were like, it had traction. Like, there were people that were like, yeah, how dare they go to Disneyland? And it was like, first of all, we didn't. We were in downtown Disney. It wasn't a meetup. It was just people happened to be there. From what I remember I had like a bad episode that night. So, because someone showed up with a boy that I didn't know was going to be there. and it triggered me. And so I was like, who is this random man? I don't like this. I want to leave. And so I was just like not having it. And yeah, I mean, it was all, if it wasn't allowed, Disney wouldn't allow it. Like, they would have been like, they would have come up to us and been like, hey, social distance, which we were. Yeah, we stood together for one picture, but like while we were talking, we weren't like kissing. Like, we were talking in a circle, staggered. Like, I don't know. I always thought that was funny. And the comments for that were crazy. Oh my God. And then they were like, they claim to be high risk, but they're risking their life. And I'm like, yeah, let me do that. I'm fucking depressed. I don't have a sense of self-preservation. I'll risk my life anytime. Like, shut up. That's my decision. Let me be stupid. If you want to stay at home and hide, that's on you. I'm not going to, because if I get locked in my house for longer than a day, I'm gonna stay in my house for the rest of my life. But yeah, people, it was mainly the older people that were like, how dare they? The best was you're the reason people are dying. And I was just like, who said that? Like, and it had its little, we knew exactly who said it. But, and they were in the comments just like lighting it up with lighter fluid, like just like egging people on, like, yeah, can you believe this? And then they were like throwing comments like, and that dog does this and that dog does that and blah blah blah, and it was just like wild. So I think that's what's the most dangerous thing about those Facebook groups, is that like it'll start with like, here's reason A why this person is bad. And then they get in the comments, and all the people that hate reason A will be like, well, here's B, C, D, E, F, G. And it has nothing to do with the original thing. And it just like, and B, C, and D, E, F, G has no receipts, nothing to back it up. It's just coming out of their ass. And so, but you know, you're reading it, you're feeding into it, you want to see it. It's exciting, it's interesting, it's funny, it's drama. So you're like, oh shit, that's crazy. And half the time, B, C, goddamn, this is hard. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, are way worse and blown out of proportion and not even like half true from what has happened in A. And so people are like, well, fuck A. You know, they said they try to bomb, you know, the fucking Eiffel Tower. But in A, they were in trouble for their dog barking. You see. So that's what happens a lot in those blacklist groups. And that's why I always tell the young handlers and the new handlers, it's not that bad. I've been on those before. Yeah, it sucks and it's annoying, but you just gotta ignore it and know that half the time whatever is being talked about is not true. Yeah, it's really not. Take it with a grain of salt. It's just people feeding each other's egos and getting out their frustrations without, you know, being an adult and talking face to face. Like, if you're that angry or you're that mad, like, talk to me, you know. I wish people would do that more. I wish people could be more confrontational. I'm not saying we could fight, but like, why can't we have a conversation over the phone? I wish we could do that more with people, but no one wants to do that. Anyways, I just hate those groups. I think they're fucking worse. I think they're like toxic slime. I tried to get one taken down and I got really fucking close. But then I got canceled. and then every good deed I've ever done was somehow a publicity stunt and you know, fuck me and I need to go die. So yeah, that stopped. But I did get very close. Maybe I should look back into it. I don't know. Do they still have those groups? I'm not really in the community that much. I just see little bits here and there. But yeah. Crazy. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. So why I got canceled. Like James Charles canceled. Like people were burning my Morphe palettes. Was a situation happened, and then in the comments, my own friends started telling lies. And then didn't even matter. It was all about this right here. It was all about B, C, D, E, F, G. And I would say that absolutely was like the match. This was the kindling and the lighter fluid. Judas, when he was a year and some change, he had just turned 1. It was in April. So so he was a year and 3 months. We were at Disneyland and he had been the day before all day long. And he met a brand new dog the night before, and that dog was a nervous wreck. I mean, like literally shaking in an ice cream shop, mind you. It's an ice cream shop. And they were taking it to Disney that next day. Probably should have said something. But he was just over it. He was genuinely overworked. He needed a break. He needed to be away from dogs. He needed to, like, at that point in time, I could go on for hours about how I ruined Judas and how I shouldn't have had a dog at that time, and how I'm very lucky in the dog and how Judas has grown up. Because if he were badly bred or a breed that's known for aggression, he would not be the dog he is today. He would not have recovered. But he was just overworked. He was a baby, and I never gave him a break because I, at that time, was not okay at all. Mentally, physically, I was not okay. And I would use Disney as a coping skill to run away. But I didn't relax. And so I would just work him. But, you know, he was a baby still. So that morning, we were going to meet more service dog friends. And everything was fine. Like, we got there and he was excited to see that dog. Because they vibed before. He was excited to see the other dogs. They all even played in the potty spot area. Like, they were chilling. They were chilling like villains. And then we go to Carnation Cafe, and it was so busy. It was super busy. And they put us at this little table outside, and it's so packed out, and we're cramming all the dogs under the table, and it's hot, and my backpack was on the table, and I dropped it in the center of his back, like on his spine, and all that was in there was my hydro that was filled with water and ice. So it wasn't a light backpack. And then next thing we know, there's snarling and a yelp, and then I instantly grab his leash, pull him, and that's it. And then it stops. And then I yell at him. I put him in a down. The other girl picks up her dog, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, is he okay? And she's like petting him, looking through him, and she's like, yeah, I think so. And then she checks like more, because he has dense fur. And then as she's like really, really looking, then she sees a puncture wound, and she said, no, he bit him. And I said, oh, fuck. And I said, okay, go to first aid. They should help you. So she leaves to first aid. She goes with that new dog. And they leave. I leave Judas at the table to go check on her. And the first thing out of her mouth, I'll never forget this. Like, literally never in my entire life will I forget this. But she says, don't worry, I'm not going to cancel you. Don't worry, I'm not going to cancel you. Like, in hindsight, I should have been like, what an odd thing to say. Like, you're holding your dog on your lap. I'm asking, is everything okay? How are you? How's the dog? And your first thought is to say, don't worry, I'm not going to cancel you. Like, not once did social media cross my mind. You know what was going through my mind at that point was, Judas is going back to Pennsylvania. Because, no. That was not gonna fly. And what the fuck am I gonna do? Because Brutus is retired. I just got this very expensive dog that I've worked my ass off training. And I can't do it again. Again, at that time, I was not okay at all. And her first thought is social media. So I was just like, what? I think I was just like, I don't care. Are you okay? She leaves. We're talking throughout the day over the phone. This is why I think it's wild to me that it was just everything else was so blindly believed, because I have proof of everything that happened between me and Sammy. I have all of our conversations. I have the receipt that I paid like instantly. I literally have everything. You know, there's messages of her telling me that she loves me. There's messages of her saying that she loves Judas, and dogs will be dogs, and shit happens, and, you know, like these, I can prove this. So, like, you know it's true. But, like, never once have I denied that this has happened. Never once have I not taken accountability. Judas did bite that dog. And we've changed a lot of things. Judas doesn't work with other dogs. When he does work with another dog, I tell them, you know Judas's history. It's up to you. And they say, I love and trust you. And I trust Judas. And it's I don't care. But that rarely happens when he works with another dog. And it's not a random dog. It's a dog that he knows. So, you know, he doesn't work with other dogs. He doesn't meet up. He doesn't do meetups. He doesn't go to dog parks. He doesn't do, you know, the service dog thing, the trendy things. He just works. He mainly does like big things, like when I go to the city, or when we go to Disney, you know, those kind of things. So it was always funny to me how the world was like, go burn in hell. You're working a killer. And I'm like, I'm really not though. Like, Judas flipped out under the table. I don't know what happened. No one does. They said that like Judas almost killed the dog and it was like a bloodbath. And that like I didn't want to pay, and I was I was like this bitch and all of this, and I was like, whoa.
About myself. Everybody else
what
is
the
over.
Are you delusional?
Are you delusional?
Like, where are you getting this? Like, no wonder everyone was like, you know, kill the witch. Yeah, I would have read that story too and been like, fuck her. Like, she's such a bitch. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't blame people for hating me. Like, if I didn't know the true story and all I read was that story, I would have completely agreed and been like, yeah, that girl's a bitch. Like, fuck her. But it had already happened, and no matter what I said, like, nothing was gonna change. And again, I was not okay at that time. Even before this, mentally, I was not okay. So I just didn't have the energy to even like try to tackle that. And then My own friends, these people that like lived in my house, that like knew every detail of my life, that came to the airport to pick up Judas, that are in every fucking photo of Judas's baby life, get online and are like, yeah, fuck them. I remember CJ. Let me see what she exactly said, because I'll put it on screen too, just so we can all see and be shocked together. Ah, here it is. This blows my mind. CJ said, "This behavior is a slap in the face to anyone whose dogs have ever been attacked, or to those who have to pull our dogs for any reason. I'm sorry, the dog, and I'm here for you." Do you know how many times I've gotten in trouble and went to war for that fucking devil dog? She works. I was fucking commander of the fucking army for Ridley. And for her to post that, oh my god. I remember looking at that and I was like, this has to be a dream. There's no way. Because what she had done in that moment was signed, sealed, delivered, and credited everything that post had said. And remember, that post said Judas almost killed the dog. I was a bitch that didn't want to pay and was trying to like hide this. And it was a bloodbath. And she just reposted it and was like, yep, this is what happened. And then Hunter had reposted it and was like, checks out. At that moment in time, I was still talking to Amanda. And I remember telling Amanda, like, I'm gonna lose it. Like, I can't handle this. I'm gonna die. And she was like, yeah, that sucks. And I was like, did you see what CJ did? Because Amanda at the time still talked and was very close to CJ and Hunter. And she was like, yeah, I saw. That sucks. And I was like, do something. Like, are you kidding me? And her advice was to ignore it. Ignore it. I was getting so many death threats. It was like actually hard to keep up with. I was getting just like general threats. It was actually kind of wild. It was really wild to experience. It was wild to see the threats that would be like, their last message would be like, I love you. Like it would be like, they would comment on like my story of like, oh my god, I love you, blah, 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 blah. And then that next message was, I can't believe you've done this. I can't believe you've done this. No. It would be like, I can't believe this. I hate you. Die. Or it would be like, how dare you do this to someone? You're such a disappointment. And it was just like, whoa. Like, what's happening? And then the like, then the floodgates opened to like more of my friends coming in. And I remember another friend DM'd me. God, I don't even know what to call her. I don't think you could ever call that person a friend, because she will go and talk shit about you, and then next thing you know it, you're her best friend. So be careful. But she DM'd me and was like, hey, I don't think we can be friends anymore, but I'd love to be internet friends. And I was like, I don't even know what the fuck that means. I'm literally gonna jump off a cliff. This is a lot. like I would sit on the phone with you while you were having panic attacks, like, for hours. That's the kind of friend I was to you. I'm literally not okay right now. And your message isn't how you're doing. Your message is, I don't want to meet you in person anymore, but I'll talk to you over the internet, but not publicly. Just like, what? What is happening? I think this is like I think this is what truly being canceled is like watching everything leave. One by one, everything is slowly going away. And I was watching it, and it was so scary. And then the worst one, my literal soulmate, she said, it's too much. I just can't do it. You're on your own, kid. And I was like, yo, wait, don't. You're the last one, please. She checked out. And then, yeah, it was just me and Judas. And I was like, this is not good. So that was like the start. And then I obviously had to go to the loony bin because your girl was not okay. That trip should have happened like months and months ago. So yeah, I did intensive outpatient therapy, and I did training with Judas and our trainers, and he was cleared from the trainers, and we talked to his breeder, and his breeder was like, I don't know why that happened. That shouldn't have happened. None of his other siblings have gone through that. His parents don't do that. The vet checked him. The vet was like, he's not in pain. He's fine. Yeah. He was all cleared. He was cleared to work again. And so I followed the rules of my real trainers, my actual trainers, the trainers who have been in business for like over 10 years. They're not some 20-something-year-olds that train one dog and think that they are trainers now. Which we know how that story ends. So apparently, and during this time I didn't have access to my phone. My phone was taken away from me. It was part of my treatment plan. I could not have my phone on me. So during this time, I come back and I'm thinking, okay, when I come back, Amanda's gonna be there. Amanda's gonna be like, you okay now? Because in my head, it's dying down, you know. Boy, oh boy, was I wrong. it was just getting started. So that happened, and then all of a sudden, when I came back, while I was gone, everyone was like, oh, she's not answering anything. We can say whatever the fuck we want, and there's no consequences. So let's go. And so apparently Judas had attacked this dog one time at his birthday party, yet that dog had gone to Judas's other birthday party the next day, but Judas had viciously attacked him at his party. Judas had like 3 parties for his first birthday. So that story doesn't even kind of make sense. But he's like viciously attacked that dog, and that dog, apparently Judas like ruined that dog, but that dog could not heal for the life of it. It was like psychotically like ball driven. You couldn't get that ball out of that dog's mouth. Don't even try. Don't even let another dog try. It just would not listen to its owner at all. Like at all. Even on a prong. Like she'd be yanking that thing, and that dog would not do anything. But yeah, that was one time. And then he had attacked another dog. Who was the other dog he attacked? He had attacked another phantom dog. Oh, this was crazy. And then the Poodle Brigade, they were like foaming at the mouth. They were like, this is our moment. Here we go. We can literally make up the most randomest shit ever. So apparently Judas jumped a fence at Disneyland. This big bitch can't even jump me. Like if I'm laying on the ground, he won't jump over me. He'll walk on top of me. So bold of them to think he's that athletic. But apparently he jumped a fence to go try to attack a dog. They said he snapped at a character. Another just bold, crazy. I don't like to flex like this, but Judas, we're very close to a couple characters, and probably I'm Judas's favorite person, and someone I still talk to and go visit to this day is a character. He's friends with some characters, and Judas literally loves him more than me. Like he knows him more than it gets Judas in trouble when he sees him. So that one was just like I don't know about that one. I don't think that one's true. Oh, then this one hurt. Remember how I said, oh, Amanda's gonna be there. She's gonna be there for me. Nope. Never showed up. And then apparently Judas had attacked Noxus. This is wild. You know why this is wild? Because Noxus raised Judas. Like, from the time I pooped Judas out, Noxus was with him. I'm not kidding. Like, they were together till Judas' first birthday. No, till Judas that day, April, whatever day that happened. Like, they were together 24/7. So for her to say that Judas attacked Noxus is so mind-blowing to me. Like, genuinely mind-blowing. it's almost like, and I'm not saying that like dogs that live together or dogs that are friends can't like attack each other or have like a moment, but she made it seem like Judas like literally just like snapped, and like she said that like it attacked, he attacked Noxus so badly that like Noxus had to stop working. That has never happened. I don't even know how you like kind of try to make that excuse. And I was just like, all right, like I can handle CJ talking out of her asshole. I can handle Hunter because she always talks out of her asshole. But you're gonna make up lies. You're gonna sit there and say that. You who like rocked him to sleep, like literally was there with me when I would be on the phone with the breeder. Like you who picked him out with me, like how could you lie like that? I'm gobsmacked. That was crazy. That was fucking wild to me. But that's what happened when I was away at the loony bin. And I was like, okay. So then everyone was just so angry that I was working him. They genuinely were pissed off that Judas wasn't dead. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you guys. It's my favorite analogy to use. If you have a flat tire, do you throw away the whole car or do you fix the tire? You fix the tire and continue driving. I could see if Judas fucking killed Peaks, or it was an actual bloodbath, or Judas never let go and Judas, like, he was the actual monster they painted him out to be, then yeah, no, he wouldn't be working. But that's not what happened. That's why he could work. And all these other incidences never happened. And you don't have receipts about that because they never happened. So, yeah, I got canceled for fake shit. I will say being canceled is not fun, but it is fun to say after the fact. It's my favorite thing to tell people when someone was like, oh, blah, 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 what'd you do? And I was like, oh, I got canceled, so I lost all my friends. Or I was like, oh, I was canceled in 2022, so yeah, I don't remember much. And they're like, what? Or like, some celebrity will be canceled and I'll be like, I was like, oh, I was canceled once. It's really funny to say. It's funny now. It was not funny back then. To watch, like, just like everyone you've ever known and loved, like, leave you. And like to watch people purposefully like be unkind. Yeah. That year was horrific. And then Brutus had died unexpectedly. And I thought, oh my God, there's no way those 3 people are gonna let me suffer when they claim to love Brutus so much. They absolutely did. and I was like, okay, well, the internet can't be that cruel. The internet did not care that the love of my life had just died. they still were like, oh, your dog died? Okay, cool. Judas needs to die though. And I was like, okay, well, that's double homicide. Like, I already put one down. I can't do another one. Gang, you gotta give me. On the day of my brother's wedding, I posted something on my story. Don't worry, they added it. Look, just look at this. Do you know how crazy, like, bored you have to be to do all this? Like, it was so fucking wild. Like, they literally typed all that, said all that for what? All because I posted a sign that said their behavior has more to do with their own internal struggle than it ever did with you. And they said all this, all that, and that. And let's just read it together, shall we? Let's just read it together. That's ironic. You think it's appropriate to gaslight, victim blame, and abuse your friends when your dog attacked one of their dogs, and then preach positivity when is it gonna be enough? Does he have to kill a dog for you to get it through your noggin? Which friend is gonna be next? Friends don't put other friends in danger. It's selfish and ignorant. And there shouldn't need to be a fatality to reassure that. We can't cherry pick laws either. The ADA is there for a reason. And a dog with a bite history aren't covered. Your dog lost his rights and title the minute his teeth bared on that dog and broke skin. You don't just get to make up your own, and I don't know what that word is, yourself. And this wasn't a surprise one-time incident either. He had an established history of aggression that you choose to ignore. You do this and spread lies to preserve your mental health while sacrificing others and the shame at the same time. People that cared about you, too. People that cared about you. Then, too, that you drag through the mud without a nuance. It's disgusting. You don't realize it's disgusting. What you don't realize is that this community would have been here to support you. Admit your wrongdoings and mistakes, because we're all human and everybody makes them. Alexa, play Hannah Montana.
Playing Hamilton,
No.
an American musical, original Broadway.
Alexa, off. Retire him, and we would have rallied behind you and fundraised. Pause. First of all, Judas would not have been retired because he would have washed. I fucking hate when people use retired for dogs that are washed out. Brutus had a beautiful 6-year career. He retired. Let's keep retired for the dogs that actually retired. So no, Judas would not have retired. He would have washed. Thank you. No offense, you big bitch. We would have retire him, and we would have rallied behind you to fundraise, because there's no shame in that either. Do you remember what Hunter did? Look how that turned out. You've had time to plan and prepare both yourself and him. This wasn't a one-time fluke. But it was. don't know how else to tell you that. That's why I couldn't prepare. That's why I couldn't get another $3,500 on the spot. It's really hard to make mommy and daddy keep paying for it. And as for anyone who has a problem with me writing this, you can kindly leave. We don't tolerate abusers, victim blaming, and gaslighting here. If you support abusers, I don't support you. If you are a victim of this person, I support you. You are a victim.
How many of you have ever felt personally victimized by Regina George?
And then they said working in material. That was my old at. Call me a hater if you want to. And as for the at of the dog Judas bit and all her other victims, I support you. This is the best one. This is the best one. This is not for drama purposes. Everyone, this fucking thesis about me being a fucking gaslighter is not about drama. I'm serious. This is because of your selfishness, spinning a web of lies, and your willingness to continue to put people in danger. People and handlers deserve to know before they put their lifeline at risk. Well, embarking with Eden. Let me tell you something, babe. It's been a full year. We're coming on 2. No one has died. So, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Does that mean my web of lies is actually just a crocheted hat of honesty? And at what point does it not become a web of lies? When Judas starts fucking volunteering somewhere? I don't get it. You do one thing wrong and you're fucked for life. I just don't understand. You blindly believe these people who have their own scandals of genuinely hurting animals and their own dog attacking multiple dogs and people. You know what Judas has never fucking done in his life? Attacked a human. But Jubilee does something completely out of character for him. We fix it. And he's still on the shit list. Well, Eden, I hope all is well. I really do. And I hope you still rally with my victims. I really do. Oh, this one was so funny. Okay. Oh, this is hilarious. This is Hunter saying that she wants to talk to my trainer because so someone wrote into her and said, as a dog trainer, that's a bold statement. What do you have to say about Stephanie's claim that her dog trainer told her it was okay to keep working Judas, even though he broke skin on another dog. She said, I want to know who that trainer is, because I would love to educate them on federal law and state law. Yikes, Hunter. I think it's reckless and extremely unprofessional and dangerous. A dog that intentionally broke skin on another dog, unprovoked, because you were under the table, does not have a place in public. Even pet-friendly locations, they should be muzzled for the safety of those around them. As a trainer, again, bold statement, it's disappointing to hear that come from another trainer. I'm just going to let it, a couple things play in the background. As a trainer, so disappointing. I am shook. Oh, gang. One of the reasons why I don't go to Disneyland anymore is because I was being followed a lot and recorded, and people would post when I was at the parks, and then other people would try to find me, and it would just cause a lot of anxiety for me. It wasn't fun anymore, and it wasn't fun for Judas because I would make him have to be perfect, and that's not fair. So one time we were on Space Mountain, and Space Mountain has 2 kennels, and Jubilee was in one kennel, and the ride had broke down, and we were stuck on the ride for like 10 minutes. These kennels aren't big, okay, they're small. We were stuck on the ride for like 10 minutes, and then when we finally came back around, they were like, who wants to go again? And I was like, I don't, get me off. But they didn't listen, and we had to go around again. So that was like another 3 minutes. So Judas had been in that kennel for like 15 minutes. And when we were coming back, I could hear him barking. And that's not Judas. Judas does not bark in those kennels. But I could see, because where the kennels are, they're near the line of like where the people are. The people can see him. And I could see people like leaning over and bothering him. And there was not a cast member near the kennel at the time. So I was really freaking out, because I was like, how long, what are they doing to him? And like, how long have they been annoying him? So when I finally get to Judas, there's a cast member there. And I said, how long has he been doing this? And he said, oh, not long. He was like, he just started. Of course, he stopped when he saw me. But I was like, oh, I was like, well, where were you? Like, he was like, oh, I had to go help with the ride shutdown. And I was like, okay, well, people are bothering him. And he's like, oh, I'm really sorry, blah, blah, blah. And while we're talking, this fucking dog comes out of nowhere and barges up to Judas's kennel. Thank God I had his kennel door closed still. Like, because, whoa. And like, obviously that like scared the shit out of Judas. And so Judas starts barking. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm looking at its owner, and I'm like, do you want to maybe recall your dog back, you fucking idiot? And so she gets her dog, and she's in the corner now, acting like the world's about to end. And I was like, oh, no, no, no. You're not going to do this. You are not going to sit there, play victim, and play I won the game, because I found the St. Bernard barking and I get to post about it and say, yeah, the dog's this, the dog's that. And I was like, not when your fucking rat just came and fucking like scooped in on him. Also, Judas had been stuck in that kennel for way too long. Nah, you're not doing that. And so I was like, I want to talk to a manager. Because I was like, no, I'm not having it. I wanted that footage. I wanted that security camera footage. Because I was like, you're not doing it. That's how like bad it was. That like I needed receipts of every fucking thing. I needed to prove my entire breath that I took. Because if I didn't, it was automatically, no matter what I said, it didn't matter. It was always the other person was right and trusted. No matter what I said. Even if I had the footage, it probably didn't matter. They probably still would have believed them. So I was waiting for the manager. And that person over there was like freaking out. Anyway, so I get on my story. And I was just really frustrated about everything that was happening. And so then someone commented and was like, no offense, but your dog shouldn't be in Disney or even working. It has a bite history, period. The other dog never ran to your dog. Your dog started barking in the crate and clearly couldn't handle it. I'm sorry for everything you're going through. And even though it's the hard truth, your dog should not be working. Right? Because I had mentioned how Brutus had fucking just died. And I just wanted to go to Disneyland and not think about my dead dog. But you know, they're sorry. Plus, security had to walk her out because you were the one waiting for her. I was waiting for management to get the footage of her dog barging up to his kennel. I'm not trying to attack you. Really? I'm just trying to get you a reality check from another service dog handler. I want both for the best of you. But, yeah. That's what it's like to be canceled. That's why I was canceled. Because Judas had a little freak out. Judas did do something bad. But it got blown out of proportion. And that's how it turned into a big cancel. If it was told what actually happened, I don't think it would have gone this bad. It's crazy to think about in the terms of like this. We're talking about dogs. Wild time 2022 was, I'll tell you that. That was a wild ride. It is by the grace of God, a prayer, and the skin on my teeth that I am sitting in front of you right now. Not even Harry Styles was keeping me here. I was going. But yeah, that's cancel culture. So that's what happened. Now I learned that I just let Judas's behavior speak for itself. And if they think he's bad, then he's bad. And if they think he's not covered under the ADA, then he's not covered under the ADA. You're not going to make everyone happy. No sé. I will say, my only advice, if you find yourself in a predicament where you're just being bombarded with lies and you think, I can't do this anymore. It's really hard and really lonely. The absolute best thing you can do for yourself: turn off that phone. I truly, that next year, I found new things that I loved. I did everything for me. I visited museums and got into reading and art, and I learned how to crochet, and I got really into K-pop, because you're talking to a wall. Even in this video, I can sit here until I'm blue in the face, and there are still people who don't believe me, and there's still people who have their versions, and there's still people who think I should still not work Judas, no matter what, even though the people who are talking about him are not trustworthy and are not good people. They'll still believe them over me because they just don't like me. You're not gonna change it. That's the one thing I learned. It's not worth it. You can't move a mountain. You can't. And I know that's not like what normally people want to hear. That's not the positive thing, right? You'll move mountains. But realistically, you can't. Just let the mountain sit there and let it be a mountain. Don't move it. Climb over it and let it be behind you. Because that's the only way it's going to get out of your way. So, if you have anything, your friends are being mean to you, or you're at a job that you hate, or your family is unsupportive, or people are spreading lies about you, or you're just not happy, change. Find something for you. Only you. Don't do it for social media. Don't do it for anybody else. For you. And you'll see a change. I promise. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was a talkie. Yeah. I think I'm going somewhere fun soon. So we'll have a vlog. But yeah, stay tuned, gang. Stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this tea and my cancellation. But yeah, be kind. It's easier. And know you are loved. Even when you feel like you're not. I promise someone something relies on you being alive. So, drink water, take your meds, and we will talk very, very soon. Bye-bye! Don't wag that tail at me, you little slut.